didn't know it then, but something inside me had shifted permanently. I wasn't the same woman who got engaged. I wasn't even the same woman who saw that positive test of, yeah, you're pregnant. Grief had kind of softened me, but it had also clarified some three major things. Hi, I hope you're following through. So, this is the part I talk about what grief did to me, particularly losing a pregnancy. If you're following along, I've been saying it chronologically, so this is the part where I talk about the grief after my first miscarriage. I hope you can listen to the rest of them and follow along with us. First, for real, I realized something uncomfortable. I had built my identity for a very long time around being capable. A capable daughter, a capable student, a capable wife, and I know in many cultures having a child is one of those things that defines a capable wife. Let's just say it as it is. I believed if I did everything right, everything well, right, that life would definitely cooperate, life would be on my side. And loss for sure exposed that illusion of control I did not know I was clinging on to. For the first time, I had to sit with something I couldn't fix. And that changed me. It made me softer. I think it humbled me to some extent. But it also made me less rigid, less thinking that this is how things had to go. You grow up, you do this, you do that, you get married. It's almost like there was a linear way that life was supposed to go that shook that belief. And I stopped believing I could earn stability. I started learning how to live without guarantees slowly, like there was no guarantee in life. For a long time, I think my life was full of guarantees. If I did this, that outcome came. If I did this, but this was one time that I knew, oh, nothing is really within my control. The second thing this taught me is I used to believe strength meant endurance. Not crying too long, like, okay, I got this, I can cry for one day and then I'll be okay. Not falling apart publicly. Honey, I cried in that office when the lady told me this baby is not going to be viable. Oh my God. Yeah, and then there was the part that holding faith tightly just became also very real, because I learned strength is not the absence of breaking. It is that willingness for sure to be reshaped by what breaks you. I became less performative and less polished, more honest, and honestly grounded me more than perfection ever did. There's that pressure of like being put together that I think my life to that point was. But this almost like felt like someone shattering through a glass. The third lesson that I learned is I realized that I had attached motherhood to my worth faster than I realized. Before I ever held a child, I had already started measuring myself by that identity. I'm a mother, I've already bought clothes, I've already done a lot of things. I had a lot of expectations. And when the pregnancy ended and I didn't grieve, it means I didn't just grieve for a baby. I grieved for the version of myself that I thought I was becoming. This is not to minimize anybody who has been through this experience. This is to say how for sure you have expectations, because the bond that a mother creates with a child while they get in, the child is inside of them and they're growing and you see your body changing. You go through the first trimester, things are just haywire. For some it's a whole mess until the end of the term. For some like me, you're on bed rest the whole 9 months. So honestly, that bond, you already form that idea in your brain of who you're going to become. And that's when I understood something. Identity isn't assigned by outcomes. Like, okay, you've given birth, now you're a mother. It is formed in how we endure those transitions. Because that broke me, but it still did not, as I looked at it, did not change the fact that I still wanted to be a mother. I was not a mother at that point, but then I knew I still wanted to become a mother, and I was hoping and praying that that would come true. Now, as I look back, I share this because that season didn't make me weaker. It made me more aware, more compassionate, particularly about those who had shared their stories before. You just never know. Sometimes you hear those things and you really cannot relate. And it reinforced the fact that really experience is the best teacher. When you look from outside, you never really understand what someone goes through. You might be an empath. I am a empath of empaths. But until you go through it, until I went through it, it was never something I related with as much. I just had, I've had 2 miscarriages, 3 miscarriages, never related. When I had my one, it was like, man, I would not wish this on anyone, not even my worst enemy. This experience truly made me more grounded. Even if I didn't have language for that word, I didn't even know that this is something called grounding. But now looking back, I know that it made me more grounded. Well, that loss didn't just prepare me emotionally. It unknowingly prepared me for something bigger. I thought it was the hardest transition I would face. Boy, was I wrong. Because soon, everything around me would change. And the next chapter would challenge my identity in ways I was not prepared for. But I hope it helps to prepare someone. If this season resonated, please subscribe and continue this journey with me. I'm telling this story chronologically, one chapter at a time. And what comes next, my dear people, is everything. We're going into season 5, and I'm going to share this journey about leaving Kenya, going to America, and everything that happened there, the expectations, the loss of identity, the loss of career. Many things happened in chapter 5. So yes, I hope to see you in season 5. My apologies. See you in season 5.